Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Turf Today podcast, presented by True Turf, Rolling Perfection. I am your host, Adam Kershane, and I'm joined by my buddy, Trevor Larson. And today, well, folks, we're down to the nitty-gritty here, final episode of the season. And we want to give a massive shout out to our sponsors, True Turf, Aquatrolls, Spray Caddy, Track Mats, Target Specialty Products, and HydroWick. We appreciate you guys. You have been fantastic on and off the course. Somebody else that we need to give a big shout out to, of course, is our families. I know Jacqueline Larson has done a great job supporting Trevor down in San Diego. My family as well. My wife and son, obviously, a night or two a week get dedicated to Turf Today and working on the podcast and that kind of thing. And although I do my best to spend as much time as I can with them, this is something that eats away a little bit of that. So I appreciate everything that they do and the sacrifices they make for me and for all of us. Hopefully it's something that, as we go, this could be more of mine and Trevor's full-time jobs where we could, spend more time with our families and kind of allocate more time off our phones and things like that, because that would be something that would be really good for us and I think really good for a lot of people. We are not going to be around too much on the podcast waves until we come back in the new year. Trevor and I are going to do a good job of trying to be on social media, being around, keeping you guys updated with what's going on. We are planning on being at the show in January. We'll be down there with some of our sponsors doing some work. And obviously, as I'm sure you've heard it a few times, the Turf Today Cup, January 31st, it's the Wednesday night of the GCSAA conference. And that'll be at Grass Clippings. So as I said, it's a golf tournament at night. It'll be under the lights at Grass Clippings. It's a golf course in Tempe, Arizona that is hosting us. They just opened their light course at night. It's a really cool project. Those guys took over the golf course down there and hosting us for our Turf Today Cup. We've already got a bunch of people signed up. We've already got a bunch of sponsors that are in. Also wanted to mention, a few podcasts ago, we leaked a little bit of information about a Yeti contest. And with everything going on, the True Turf contest online, our store sale that we were pushing, now this tournament that's kind of come out of nowhere, the Yeti's been put on hold. But we have decided to bring it with us to the show. It will be on the showroom floor, and we will be giving it away. So more information will come out about that, but there will be a chance for you to win it. As we did mention there, our online shop has its best promotion that we've ever had. We're offering free shipping anywhere in North America, and that is if you spend $75, you grab that free shipping. I know shipping's been really tough and one of the biggest objections for people that wanted to buy Turf Today merchandise, and I don't blame you. There's things that I don't buy online either because of the price of shipping, so it's our gift to you here this season. We want to try and get our merchandise out to people that want it. We've had a lot of people message about it and want to try and wear some of the stuff. Some of the newer things that we have, the newer hoodies and newer hats and stuff are awesome. So definitely try and get your hands on some of those. And the best way to access our store is through our Instagram. We will also be bringing a little bit of swag with us down to the GCSAA show. Probably give away a few items there. Definitely going to be giving away some items at the tournament. So make sure you sign up for that. Man, that sounds like there's going to be a lot of stuff given away at that tournament. So it's first one ever. You want to get there. We're going to do a big group photo and everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. I saw the trophies too. Oh man. It's all coming together. Today we are actually jumping out of the world of turf and we're getting into the world of golf. We are joined by Evan Singer, who is the host of the Par Train podcast, which you can find on all major platforms. It's a very popular golf podcast. Evan is a very positive guy. He is a mental skills coach, so works on that mental side of the game and really helps people. It sounds like he's touched a lot of people in the game and really helped them enjoy and get back to the reason of why they've fallen in love with the game in the first place. I think that's really important. A lot of us have gone through that really tough struggle of being frustrated on the course and kind of had to realize, hey, I'm just out here for the fun of it. I'm paying to be out here with my friends and enjoying it. Why am I going to put so much pressure on myself? And I think Evan does a great job of trying to reel people back and understand why we're out here and helps people improve their game. So we talked to him. He's got some great stories for us. But first, I'm going to fire it on down to Trevor because he's got some stuff he wants to go over.
Man, I haven't bought a fresh jersey in a long time.
Was
Your boy
excited.
got it to you fast.
He did, yeah. I said I need it for Thursday. I got a show. I need to wear it on Thursday. So he's like, all right, got it out here.
They sent me a small. I'm not a small.
No, it didn't fit very well, eh?
Bag that it was in said large, so I give them credit there. But if you're gonna be shipping fucking jerseys to people, maybe double check your jersey.
That means there's a guy out there that's should be wearing a small with a big fucking tarp on.
I'd take a big tarp over a skin tight uni anytime.
Fair enough. So busy days for turf today right now. I feel like it's hard to get off the mind. Got a lot going on.
You know what's really cool that's going on? I got another sponsor today.
No way.
It's more than likely gonna be like prizes. Perfect Golf will be sponsoring our tournament. That'll be cool. He's gonna send me a box of hats. How many? I don't know. Maybe we'll just throw
Wow.
them out to people. Maybe they'll.
It's seeming like there's going to be a bunch of different prizes and a bunch of stuff kicking around.
Yeah, I've been told that they're 1,000% in, but I still just don't want to drop the company name yet on the what.
Okay.
Um,
And is it true? I won't get ahead of ourselves, but is it true that we found prizes for the winners, like real prizes too?
yeah, I mean that'll probably happen.
We don't want to leak that yet, but
Yeah, I will see that individual tomorrow and potentially discuss said potential prizes.
yeah,
Forgot
a
about
lot of
that.
people interested, some sponsors interested. I think it's going to be fun.
Another big news about the GCSAA show is Rob Dog is going to be joining us
Yeah.
on this trip. So my
Is it?
cousin, the first guest of our show, is
Yeah.
going to be joining. It's
He'll
going
be
to be
staying at
sick.
the Turf Today house.
Yes, yes, he will.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
I will say for us though, it's going to be sick. We're going to have a lot of good area to record and hang out, and it's going to be epic. Looks like, I mean, this is the weather now. It usually gets a little colder, but we're looking like 70s. So I have no clue what that would be in Celsius, but should
Yeah.
be really nice. A little chilly,
Light
a little
sweater
chilly at night.
sometimes.
Really, really, yeah, yeah. In the day, you probably if you're playing golf in the day, you could get away with a polo, and then after the round, you're gonna want to throw on a 3/4, a hoodie or something.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Playing under the lights is going to be fun. It could be nice to get a couple
Yeah,
of rounds while we're down there, but the under the lights one is going to be really interesting. Different way to play golf. How many clubs do you think you bring to something like that?
I got to see what the yardage book is. I got a couple of carry bags, so I'll probably. It's obviously not going to be any woods. I couldn't imagine anything being
Mm,
over 5 iron.
no, probably not. This is our last interview of the year. Been a long year. It's kind of cool to look back. I was going through the list today, some of our guests and stuff. A lot of memories, a lot of great stories.
A lot of jabronis.
Bunch of jabronis.
Is that it? Oh, there we go. Grass clipping scorecard. Bam.
Boom.
So there's the sand and the sun holes, is what they're going to call it. I'm seeing. Oh wow, I'm seeing a couple par fours.
Oh,
But grass all par threes, and I want to say that they do the night golf is all par threes. So we're gonna go with the par
right.
three scorecard. 135, 168, 108, 118, 138, 135, 158, 125, 172. So pretty
Okay, so
good.
the last one.
128, 166, 160, 146, 200. 138, 157, 175, and 185 at a total of 1,400 yards. I'm sorry, that was the back at a total of 2,700 yards.
So the 5 iron is in play.
Yeah,
Damn.
depending on elevation, which I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of hills in this course. So yeah, I think I'm taking five through fucking 60, five through
Yep.
putter.
May as well.
So I might just take the full bag out there just to have it and
Yeah.
not have to worry about where my stuff is.
Hey, if it gets windy and you need a hybrid or something, it's good to have it.
4 iron, but yeah, hit the 4 iron lower.
Hit the 4 iron lower.
I have a hybrid. I have a stealth hybrid. The thing's a missile. It's a cheat
Nice.
code.
It's a cheat code.
That thing, I've gotten it like 260.
Are you
It's
serious?
stupid. It's a little bit of help. It wasn't like fucking flat.
Yeah, but
You know,
that's a 3 wood usually, right?
yeah, yeah. That was total too. But I mean, right circumstance, that thing can be thumped. I'd say normally I'm very, very comfortable with that thing at 230.
It's a nice number.
It's a flippin' missile.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun course to play. It sounds like we are going to be going to see Ort Wino and Willie Mayer over at TPC Scottsdale. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Trevor's going to the stadium hole. Do you think we try and sneak in a golf club and some balls, or we just,
Yeah, I can just limp with like a wedge in my pants or something.
yeah,
Just like, oh man, my knee's really messed up.
real stiff leg today,
I'll
you
just
know, just,
hobble, yeah.
it's cold out.
And then,
So,
oh, it's over there, and then drop the ball and swing real fast,
yeah.
and then get like tackled by like 75 security people that are hiding in the stadium.
Oh, man. No, it's going to be really cool. But other than that, we're looking for a couple places to play. So if you're at a course around there, if you have some rounds set up and you guys are looking for some people to play with, definitely looking for some spots.
This is um, this is pretty true. I'm fucking tired. It was raining here today. I got home at 9 this morning.
Oh, nice. So one of those days, eh? Got some gaming in.
I don't do that really.
Oh, that was a phase.
Not much of a video gamer.
Didn't you buy a PS4 and you were going for a while?
Oh, I got the PS4 like fucking I've had this thing for like 5 years.
The old fucking station.
But they're like 60 or $70 now.
The video games, yeah, that's expensive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's like everything though, like fucking it's tough. Everything's become so expensive.
A video game isn't like food where it costs more to grow it now because of everything like that. Like an updated game, it's still the same person, like they're doing the same exact thing sitting there.
Especially if it's not an actual like disc. If you're just buying it on your system and you're downloading it, they're just upping the
Even when you
prices.
buy the disc, you still have to download half of it on your shit.
Weird.
I mean, the games have so much in them now, which kind of goes back against what I just said, but
Yeah.
like
I
I
mean, it's
don't
Call of
understand
Duty.
how everything like how does the video game market go? I mean, people still buy it. That's how it goes up. Like
Yeah.
that's just how I get like a Grand Theft Auto being expensive because they spend thousands of hours creating that entire world that's completely playable and it's insane. But like Madden shouldn't be that expensive.
No way.
Yeah, the bones of
I
Madden
agree.
has been built forever.
Yeah.
Like,
They just keep it comparable to all the other games, all the EA sports games, all the other fantasy games and everything. They just keep going up together. It's cool
yeah,
how they've come that far. I imagine when like our kids are old enough, they're just going to be all playing VR, right? It's all just going to be on the headset.
I love the videos of people hurting themselves doing it or punching their
That's
TVs
yeah,
or
it's true,
falling on.
eh?
Like, I love that. That shit is so funny to me.
Have you ever put one on?
No,
Me neither. Never tried it.
I don't plan on it. I don't like, if I do it, I have to be sitting down.
Okay. Yeah, I might be an into the TV guy too.
Oh, yeah. I would be 100% into a wall guy because I'm going to play. And if I get into anything competitive, I'm going to want to fucking win.
Right.
And yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be
Yeah.
full send.
And
And
like the
I'm going
creepy ones,
to
the
lose.
scary ones, there's zombies coming all around you now. Like that. That's fucking yeah, I wouldn't do well with that. What about like kids being able to put them on and like going to other places in the world and seeing different things and getting lessons and I don't know. I guess there could be some sort of educational benefit. Yeah.
I see what you mean. And yes, that is pretty neat. If you're using them on a strictly educational purpose, fantastic. But it shouldn't be an everyday thing.
What about sitting like courtside or field side at an NFL
No,
game? That's kind of weird, eh? It's different for sure.
I don't know. That could be cool, but like I personally would never want like you're not there.
Yeah. You're sitting on the toilet naked at home and you're courtside watching LeBron. Like it's weird.
Yeah, I mean I get it that it's virtual reality. Like it's in the name of what it is. Like I personally don't like that. I'd rather be there. And then it's like these people who go these places and then they film everything and they live their life on their fucking phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're here. Like I get snapping a photo here and there. I get it, documenting it a smidge. But these people that go to say the golf events and they film every fucking swing. How many times are you actually rewatching those videos? You're going back and if it's unless it's Tiger and you're like, dude, I got to see Tiger up this close, like this is dope. Like, but other than that, you're not playing that video more than 10 times ever. It's just gonna sit in your phone
Yeah.
forever and do nothing. And then you're gonna stumble on it in a few years and just be like, oh, that was kind of cool, but it's taking up memory. Like,
Like sweet. I read the other day that it was 7 hours we average on our phones a day. 7 hours. Like I don't know if that's true or not, but that seems crazy.
You don't get the screen updates.
I've
You don't
always
get.
kind of turned that off or not looked at it, especially for
Oh
someone
yeah,
who runs like a social media company. I've just tried to keep it off
yeah.
my mind.
I guarantee you, you're somewhere around 7 hours.
Yeah. Oh, I'm for
Yeah,
sure. And it's bad.
yeah. It is. It is bad, and I'm guilty of it. So like I'm pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
I wish we could. I mean, out of all the positives that come out of a smartphone and this digital fucking world, for instance, the show right here, I still kind of wish we could go back to like the late 90s when it was primitive cell phones that you could just call on. Everyone was still outside. The fucking you didn't have 24/7 news in your pocket where
Hmm.
everyone's worried about everything everywhere and causing everyone to be anxious about everything. Like, whoa, what's happening here? What's happening here? What's happening here? It's like, dude, you're 6,000 miles away from this. There's nothing you can do. Like, does it suck? Yeah, but why are you worried about it? Like, it's
Yeah.
insane.
It is insane. Yeah, but we just used to hang out and just talk to each other. There was no phones. Everybody would just chill and just talk about whatever.
When you're cruising around on your bike as a kid and you see the front yard that has everyone else's bikes on it, that's where everyone is. Bam,
Yes.
that's where you
That's
go.
that's
Like,
the house. Yep.
that's the day. Like,
Yeah, it
you
was the best.
call, oh, hey, Mrs. Smith, is fucking Timmy home? Oh, yeah, let me get him. The corded phone on the wall. Like,
Yeah. Timmy
damn,
Smith, eh?
name him, give me a more American name.
Big T. But yeah, no, I've thought about that. Like the 90s. I follow a couple accounts on Instagram. They're all about the 90s and everything that went on, all the shows and pop culture stuff. And yeah, it's a good time.
Dude, comedies were good, movies were good, shows were good. Everything's ass now
Yeah. But wouldn't
when
every
it comes to being
generation say
creative.
that? Like, didn't our grandparents say that shit about like our time too? So isn't it kind of like
No,
we're
I
just
mean,
reliving
yes,
it?
but it was because it was more crude. Think of the movies that are coming out today. They're horribly written. A lot of the actors are half-ass milking it, and they're all this. It's all the same superhero bullshit. Like, and then they're just remaking the old movies, and they make them worse.
Yeah.
Like back then, when they're like, "Oh, it's our stuff was better in our day," it's because they lived on a different value, and they're like, "Oh, this is crude." And this like American Pie came out, and old people lost their fucking mind because it was so inappropriate. Like,
It's true.
which
That's true.
that's a different story. That's a different story than all this new shit coming out that's just awful.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking bad.
It's unfortunate. It's like everything. Look at music. Music's the same way. Like rap. Rap was so good.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say modern hip hop. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
It's
Things have
so
changed.
bad. It's so bad. Country. I'm not even a country guy. There ain't no soul in country anymore. You get a couple of people that pop up out of the woodwork, but like these mainstream country, they're pop stars with a fucking guitar. They're awful.
Yeah. Things have changed. Times have changed. It's all about that content now, right?
But I finished the episode today, and it was funny as hell listening to my wife like pop onto the podcast and be super nervous, and then like click to being comfortable like super fast.
She was right into it. Yeah. Yeah. I still haven't gotten that far listening to it, but I wanted to finish it because I was laughing at John. God, he's so funny. Hanging up. Just like, oh, damn it. Technology.
Pretty good. It's pretty good. So there's 10 responses, and one of them we'll just get out of the way. It's Rob Dog. And he just goes, "Whoa, Phoenix."
Yeah. I was messaging with him a little bit. Him and I have some stuff in common, so that's gonna be fun chilling with him. And I know Bobby Cook's coming down. I believe he might stay with us at the Turf Today house too. So that'll be fun. Getting a little crew together here. And just a quick word from our sponsors, True Turf. And this week, we want to congratulate Rory McAlpin, 19 years old, second year apprentice. He entered the Show Us Your True Turf competition, and guess what? He won $10,000. And this boy, 19 years old, just bought himself a brand new ute or a brand new truck, so he might spend some money there. And let me tell you, this man is beloved at his course. He's at the Pambula Marambula Golf Course. I hope I'm saying that right. And they actually recently sent him to a PGA Tour event to work. So really excited for Rory. That is a fantastic thing that True Turf has done now for a few years. Definitely keep your eyes peeled for next year. You just need to enter the competition with a photo of your True Turf roller at your golf course, and you could take home $10,000. All right, back to the show. Evan, how's it going, brother?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Not too bad.
Oh, the guest with the clearest voice we've ever had because someone else who's got a mic. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He's got a setup too. Look at this.
I just had that yesterday with another podcast guest. I said the same thing. I was like, this is so nice. I don't have to worry about how the audio is going to be. It's just money. And I just learned you guys might like this too. I just discovered this. You can actually use your iPhone as your Zoom camera, and it's just all through AirDrop. So as long as your
Oh.
AirDrop's on, if you go to your Zoom settings and click video, it's just going to be there.
Wow.
And now I'm like much clearer. Where if you looked at my Mac camera, it's like super grainy and cloudy. So yeah.
But then you can't grab your phone though, right?
Well, no, it's which is a good thing for me. During like Zooms and meetings, and well, I don't usually look at during podcasts, but if you have your notes on your phone, then yeah, it would present an issue. But you just got to put it on something else on your screen. But
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, it takes your phone out of commission.
That works. We're thankful to be just an audio podcast because we like to say we have a face for radio. So,
Oh, got it.
Yeah, we haven't really graduated to the video stage yet, but that's coming for sure.
Got it. Cool.
well, sweet man. Glad you could join us on in our little turf world here. You're obviously big into the golf world itself. You just got back from Scotland, I believe.
Yeah.
That was insane. I watched that video this morning.
Which video did you watch?
I watched you in the room that everybody wants to be in.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy. I did not expect to be in that room. That's for sure. I didn't expect to be at that hotel. So,
Oh wow.
So how did that come about? Did you just not know about it? Did you shoot for the stars and end up with the room out of random? Was it a surprise? Like, yeah, get into that story.
yeah. So, I knew I was going to be in Scotland for 4 weeks, right? It was kind of my wife and my dream to live somewhere abroad for a month and really like engross myself into the culture, right? And
Nice.
luckily, my wife and I both work remotely. My wife went through this health thing. It's well documented on our page. We don't need to go through it here, but we basically were like, all right, we can't try and have kids right now. So instead of dwelling on the negative, let's look at the positive, which is our flexibility. And we have a lot of friends and family right now that have young kids. And I think for the first time ever, we are starting to realize how lucky we were to have the free time that we do and the freedom to decide how we want to spend our time. So we both work remotely and we're like, yeah, let's do this. Let's make this year about travel while we work. And so we went to Bali, which is my wife's favorite place in the world that she'd been to once before, for 10 days. And then to show you how sweetheart of a wife my wife is, I was like, yeah, well, it's my dream to go to Scotland for 4 weeks. So she got 10 days. I got 4 weeks.
Wow.
And
What a
we got
trade.
a little Airbnb in St. Andrews. And yeah, we were living there for a month. Now, in regards to the old course or the Russex Hotel on the 18th fairway and green of the old course at St. Andrews, I had been talking to various folks locally about ways that we can collaborate and things that we can do together since I'll be there for so long. And I had been talking to the people at the Russex Hotel. They're great people. And we never really landed on what to do. I'm not going to like blatantly be like, can you get me a free room on the 18th with a balcony? Like that. I didn't start there. I was just like, what can we do together? And I was planning on having my birthday dinner at the Russex that night before, or sorry, the following night on my actual birthday. And I got an email on Saturday. My birthday was Monday. And the sweet woman from the Russex Hotel said, well, why don't we do this? Why don't you come by the night before your birthday? We'll get you a room. And that way you can wake up at St. Andrews for the day that you're playing.
Oh,
So I was scheduled. There's also a whole nother story about trying to get on the old course to play, but there was a local caddy there that followed us. He got us on the ballot, the locals ballot. He got us on. at like 3:30 p.m. on my actual birthday. Me, my wife, and him, and another local caddy. My wife's never played the Old Course. The Old Course is my favorite course in the world. St. Andrews is my favorite place in the world. So this was it. Like the people at the hotel were like, "You're gonna stay at the Russix Hotel. You're gonna wake up overlooking, or you're gonna wake up, at St. Andrews, and you're gonna play the Old Course of St. Andrews on your birthday, and then we got a dinner at the Russix Hotel that night. Dream birthday, right?"
Oh yeah.
Now,
Man.
with all that being said, I walk into the hotel and I don't know what this means. I'm grateful to get any hotel comped. I don't care where the room is, but I was telling Tara, my wife, I was like, it'll be interesting to see where that room is, because obviously you want the one overlooking the 18th. Like, that's the dream room. And again, I'm not going to be prescriptive. A free room's a free room, right? But we get off the elevator with the guy who brings up your bags, and he's showing us to the room. And I start whispering to Tara, I go, I'm pretty sure if we go into the right side of this hallway, any of these right doors, from what I know about this hotel, I'm pretty sure we're going to be one of the rooms overlooking the 18th at the Old Course at St. Andrews. And he starts turning to the right. And I'm like,
Ooh.
holy shit. And he opens the door. And I just reshared that video on our Instagram today because it's St. Andrew's Day in Scotland.
Oh wow.
And we walk in. Not only is it one of the rooms that overlooks the 18th, it's one of like 6 rooms in the entire hotel that has their own balcony.
That's
And it was
treatment.
just like the greatest birthday, the greatest day. We got room service. We're just chilling. I'm wearing a robe. They have heated floors in the bathrooms,
Ooh.
heated towel rack. Like, they treat you nice. And I woke up and there was a rainbow over the 18th fairway upon waking up.
Wow. How did the hotel do that?
You can't write it. I asked them how they
did the
did
hotel
it.
do that?
I asked the hotel, I go, how did you guys do this? And they were like, yeah, I can't give away our secrets. It's
Wow.
so they're the best. It was a dream day.
That's
Wow.
unbelievable.
I know how they did it. It was the phenomenal ground staff out there, because it's always our turf professionals that make us get the best experience.
There you
It
go.
is.
Shameless plug. All right.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I wanted to ask him, because obviously getting to play the course is amazing, but was there anything in particular you got to see, with the maintenance staff doing, or maybe something they do there that's specific to that course or that region that you could talk about a little bit?
No, but I do have a story about carts that you wouldn't realize.
Buggies?
Buggies, yes. So my wife has an autoimmune thing she's been working through that I reference. It basically it's been a year process. It's been very challenging for her to walk 9 to 18 holes. Like, she hadn't done it in a year. It basically just would get really tired and you don't know when it's going to cramp out, right? So getting a buggy for her was huge, but they only have a few of them. So when we were registering with the local caddy, I heard that we got a buggy, but there was a problem. Apparently, the lottery system placed us at too late of a tee time that they weren't supposed to. 3:30. Nobody should have been going off that late, so we were gonna be finishing right at sunset. And apparently, the maintenance staff wasn't going to be there by the time that we would come in. And I guess some bad actors in the past drove a cart into a pop bunker and got hurt. So they no longer let buggies be on the course once it's getting dark. So there was this huge thing. We actually did a whole podcast on it. My wife, who's probably like a 13 handicap, she's played since she was 4, and she's never really had a negative experience on the golf course, where I've had hundreds. And this was the worst golf experience of her life. We did a whole podcast on it and why it would be at the Old Course at St. Andrews. Has nothing to do with any of the people there, just everything that was going on in her own head around this injury. And the cart was a big contributing factor of that, because she had to give the cart up at hole 10. Someone came out and brought it in. And then she was going through this whole thing of like, am I going to be able to make it? Well, this is Evan's birthday. They're having a blast. This is his favorite place. I don't want to be an issue for anybody. So she's going through all that stuff in her own head. The cart had very specific, like virtual guardrails on the screen in the cart. So she's like trying not to drive it in the wrong place. The cart was a whole thing, but that's all I really have for you. I don't really get to talk to any of the greenskeeper guys or see anything that was unique, but everything about that place is amazing. So I'm sure they do great stuff.
What's your guys' podcast? Where can people go and listen to that if they want to hear that story, such as myself as well?
Yeah, it's called the Par Train podcast.
That was easy.
Yeah. So our mission is to help frustrated golfers enjoy the ride again. So we focus on the mental side. But what's unique about us is, we'll have anyone from a PGA Tour pro to a sports psychologist to a best-selling author to golfers like you and me. And that episode with her was really a unique one because you've got a golfer that the game's kind of come easy to. She's always had a good relationship with the game, and now she's at the home of golf and kind of has demons come out that have never come out before. And it was a really fascinating conversation and her debut on the show. She had never been on a podcast before. So it was a pretty special episode.
That's killer. Yeah. And everyone listening, go and follow the Par Train as the page. And if you need, you're down in the dumps on your game or anything like that, he's got thousands of videos, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of videos of, good ways to think and adapt and adjust in your round or mindsets to go into with. And it's always been a good inspiration. I've followed you for years. Where are you coming in from us? Where are you joining us from today?
Los Angeles.
Oh, you're like 2 hours north. What do you know?
Yeah, you guys are close. There you go.
Where are you guys again?
Mr. Adam there's up in Ottawa, Canada. I'm down in North County, San Diego.
Oh, nice. I lived in San Diego for a few years.
Beautiful spot. Gotta love it. I'll
Yeah.
be at Goat Hill Park tomorrow. I'm sure you've been there.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
You get a couple more California boys.
We've had John Ashworth on the show.
Oh, John's the man. I love John. Talk about the most humble, nicest human being on the history of the planet is John Ashworth.
Yeah, if you want to get zenned out and really get in touch with the soul of the game, listen to the episode with John Ashworth. Just search Par Train John Ashworth and you'll get in the right place. That's for sure.
That's a good one.
I've got no doubt about that. John is he's golf Jesus. It's what he is.
Golf Jesus. And they refer to Evan as the Ted Lasso of golf, right? How did you get that nickname?
That was like the greatest, weirdest, probably biggest compliment that I maybe don't deserve that I've ever gotten because I got that a few times from DMs or comments or something. But I think it's probably because, at least within social media, golf content is inherently negative and self-deprecating in the sense that it's mostly about how much we suck, how much time you take away from your wives, how drunk we get, how high we get, all that stuff, which if that's your thing, no judgment. Like I get it. There's, a lot of people play the game for that. Whereas we take it more as a way to uplift and help people. Where to me, like what we say on the show every week is if you can smile through bad golf, you can smile through anything, so we kind of use golf as a catalyst to hopefully try and smile through anything you're going through. Because to me, my least favorite thing is to go somewhere or be with someone that I was looking forward to and feel like I didn't enjoy it at all. Either you're caught up in your own thoughts, you get frustrated for something silly, and yeah, so that's why the show and the platform exists. So it's probably because of that. It's probably because we're known as kind of more of the positive guys in golf.
Yeah,
That's
most
awesome.
definitely. It's one thing I like about the page because we've all been that guy and all played with that guy who gets all pissed off at their game and smacks a club or cusses or like shuts down, and it's not fun. And I used to be really like that in teenage years, early 20s, just bad, and then turned it around, turned the head around and noticed other people doing it. I'm like, man, you're a drag to play with. And I was like, dude, I was that guy for a while. Like,
Yeah.
so it's, if you get stuck into that, check out Evan's stuff and really turn it around. Have more fun. Like you said, man, if you can smile through bad golf, you can probably get through anything. Like it's
Yeah.
Definitely.
one thing we like to do here is interact with our folks. You know, it's a pretty tight knit group of greenskeepers and superintendents that we have on the show from all over the world, and we put out a questionnaire pretty much for every week for all these folks. So we get a few people that pop in with questions. If you want to dive into a couple of those with us,
Let's do it.
all right. There, you did some good ones. So I told them today, I was like, hey, this is a non-turf
We got a golfer.
expert.
Yeah.
We got a golfer, which you're the second golfer on the show, which is pretty darn fun. Because even though I do this as a career and on the turf side, I see myself as way more of a golfer than a turf professional.
Yeah. Trev definitely holds down
Totally.
the golf side of the show for sure.
Cool. Love it.
Oh yeah, I'd much rather golf than work. Duh. But
What's your favorite course to play in San Diego?
oh, it's Goat
Go
Hill
to-
Park. I mean, I live there, but favorite is between Crosby Club, Fairbanks Ranch, and Aviara are like the three big
Okay.
dogs. Coronado's come up a little bit. Their conditions are getting a lot better. The course layout at Coronado to me is kind of so-so.
Yeah.
But the
It's
greens
fun
are
though.
yeah, it's super fun. It's beautiful. The greens are fun.
Casual.
Yeah. I like casual golf. I like wearing a t-shirt. That's why I love Goat Hill. Just the vibe out there is too much
Yeah.
fun.
It's hard to beat.
What about you? What's the favorite one down here?
Well, I based where I lived. So I moved there at 22 years old. My parents came out with me. I had 10 places to help me move in. I just graduated college. I went to University of Arizona. So it gave me a little taste of out West. And I started my career working at TaylorMade's ad agency at the time. And so I literally based my search on Craigslist based on getting the Tory card. So I took well
That's
advantage
funny.
of that. I lived in Carmel Valley. Really Rancho Penasquitos, I guess. But yeah, I played at Torrey North Twilight, which is, I think, at that time, $30. I don't know if it still is.
I think it's like 40 if you got the card. And they found out that a lot of people were signing up for the local JC and then canceling all their classes, but then keeping the ID card to get that.
Yeah.
They found out
Yes.
about it and they took that out of the way to get your local
Wow.
card.
Little workaround, for the boys.
My card got
Yeah.
suspended for 6 months, actually.
So,
Wow.
I
don't
gave
doubt
my
it.
card, my boss actually at the agency, who's still one of my great friends. Her boyfriend was flying in, and he's like a 2 handicap, and was like, I really want to play Tory. And so I was like, well, you're a white guy with brown hair. Like, how closely do they really look at it? So I gave him my card, and they asked him the birthday and really challenged him. They gave me a call, and there was like no way for me to get around it. I was just like tail between my legs. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He was a guy visiting. I wanted to give him a good time. I didn't want him to be gouged. And yeah, I got the card suspended for 6 months.
Damn.
And for a kid, 23-year-old making entry-level advertising salary, that really crushes your soul when you lose the Tory card. But I played mostly Tory, Coronado, and Carmel Mountain Ranch, I would say, which I know is no
Nice.
longer there.
Yep, it's gone. It's going to be houses pretty soon if it isn't
So
already.
sad. I actually
Yeah.
really liked that course.
Yeah, they're trying to do it to a few down here, but we still got our stronghold of courses that makes it good.
Sorry. Fire those questions. I took you on a tangent.
Oh, that's all we do here. We get so sidetracked
Oh
all
yeah,
the time.
we're usually off the rails. It's okay.
We'll start with Ort Wino. This is one of our guys. He's a loyal listener, if you will. He says, "What course has been the most challenging greens to putt on?"
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, Pinehurst number 2. I probably have to go Pinehurst number 2.
I believe the U.S. Open's
Or-
there this year, right?
Is it back there this year?
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's at Pinehurst. I don't know if it's at 2 or
Yeah, it's got to be
or-
number 2 then.
It's got to be 2. Yeah.
It's a big
so
tournament.
it's either Pinehurst or I have had the chance to play Cypress.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay.
And so Alistair McKenzie versus Donald Ross greens. That'd actually be a good debate, like who makes harder greens.
Yeah.
I would think Donald Ross simply because of the whole bowl turtleback type greens. Personally, I don't love Donald Ross designs simply because golf's hard enough. And so like usually most of you either got to have it one way or the other. Like either your defense is the greens or your defense is something else. But it seems like every Donald Ross design I've played, it's the greens and then it's everything else. So there's defense everywhere. And if you're not hitting it on the screws, you can get in a lot of trouble all day long. So I would say it's between those two. That's a really good question. I would love to pose the question back, maybe to your community, of Alistair McKenzie versus Donald Ross. Who has harder greens? I might even tweet that tonight and see what people say.
Yeah,
That'd be a
why
good
not?
one. Yeah, that'd be a good one to get into. I'm actually curious on our community side of who actually knows the names, because believe it or not, on the greens like keeping side, not a lot of dudes in this industry are like huge architecture golf nerds as well.
Mm.
So that makes it even more fun. So that's like a secondary to it. I got to say, the most challenging for me is probably when I went up and played Chambers Bay, because they were basically frozen solid and humongous, and I wasn't used to anything like it. Watching people
I've never played
push.
there.
Oh man, Chambers is sick. But they are big. They were fescue greens. They were basically frozen solid. And I don't like a big green because I don't like putting, but that just means I need to hit it closer to the flag.
That's all that means. Get it tighter to the pin, eh?
Yeah. I gotta go Chambers Bay with where I've been.
Yeah. I haven't played
Yeah,
a
the
ton,
place.
but playing at East Lake this year was definitely challenging. I blew a couple by the hole and had to dial it in to get a few putts. So I'd say for me that was one. I wouldn't imagine what that would be like, when it's tournament ready, because we play that in the off season. So when that place is dialed in at the end of the summer, it'd be pretty nice.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah. Well, in typical Ort Wino fashion, he's got two more.
Oh my gosh, that guy's always got so much to ask, eh?
He's got good ones. And then he goes, Evan's already touched on it. He says, what's your favorite course to play at? Hit him,
Yeah.
Evan, let's go with your favorite US course, just since you got your favorite, which is the old course at St. Andrews. What's your favorite US course?
Oh man, that is really tough. Honestly, so I like to I'd have to look back at my tweet to understand remember all of my factors. But if I can try and remember, it has to do mostly with how quickly do I want to play it as soon as I'm done. Replay it.
Yeah.
What type of feeling do I get a feeling when I play there? Does it just make me want to look around in amazement? And it's also, how many tee boxes do I stand on and I go, wow, this is an awesome hole. The more that I say that, and the more spiritual feeling where I'm just like super present, to me, that's usually what dictates, and variety of holes, right? Like every hole's different, super fun, like embraces the fun of the game. Like I'm not going to lose 6 balls if I miss the fairway by 10 yards, I'd have to go right now. Favorite course in the US. Let's go public too. So courses people can play.
Smart.
I'm going to go, this might be controversial, but honestly, man, Sheep Ranch is incredible. Like after spending a month in Scotland, Sheep Ranch is probably the most, it's ironic because it's the newest one, but it feels the oldest because of how close the tees are. There's so many wow moments on so many tee boxes. It's arguably the funnest start in golf. And it's just so beautiful. And the layout's fun. I just love Sheep Ranch. Sheep Ranch is like a spiritual oasis to me. So right now I'm going to say Sheep Ranch.
I love it. I was going to go with Trails. It's right behind you.
Yeah, I got
got
a
to
trails map right above me too.
yes, was probably my current favorite. At Sheep Ranch in the clubhouse pro shop, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of more of a pro shop. Did you go with the
Hmm.
corned beef breakfast burrito or the black ham breakfast sandwich? Because to me, I've talked about it 1,000 times. It is the best breakfast sandwich in golf.
You know, it's really painful that you're asking me this because I went there very recently because I work with Dream Golf. I do some consulting with them. And so I was just there and I got to play Sheep Ranch alone. I played 9, the last person on the course in drizzling rain, but it was still like very blissful. And I went there right before I was about to drive to the airport. And I was like, "You still have everything on the menu?" They go, "Everything but the breakfast sandwich and the burrito."
No,
Ugh.
oh,
And
the
so
twofer.
so I got the pastrami sandwich, which it's pastrami, right? Which is amazing.
Yeah,
Have you had the pastrami sandwich there?
No, so I didn't get to play Sheep Ranch, but we were on property and we were just hanging out. We're like, let's go out and at least see Sheep Ranch. Like, we got to go out and hang out. And so
Yeah.
we got breakfast there and chilled. Then we went over to the Punch Bowl. But I'm pretty sure it is pastrami or roast beef. It smelled phenomenal, but I didn't get the burrito either because they were sold out.
Mm.
So she's like, oh, I got a breakfast sandwich ready. It's like, perfect, let's go.
Perfect.
And it's damn.
Yeah, the pastrami sandwich is the best, I think the best food item at Bandon. So, but I
Ooh.
haven't even had the breakfast stuff there. So I'll have to
Wow.
do that the next time I go.
The food
Yeah.
can bring you back to a golf course. They're doing something right.
I mean,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Evan, as another person who's been there. Bandon is golf Disneyland. It's heaven. It's incredible.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Although I will tell you, it depends why you're going and it depends who you're with. I think Sand Valley has a lot going for it that maybe is even better than Bandon. It depends what you want, right? If you're a group that you want the purest links experience and you don't think you're going to get to Scotland, go to Bandon. Everyone should go to both, but
Yeah.
it
Everybody
is so
should go to
rare to
both,
have
yeah.
5 of the top 20 courses in America all at the same resort, and the people are amazing and the courses are incredible and every course is so different. It's very hard to beat Bandon. But I will say in 2024, to have Sedge Valley, Lido, access to a private club, which is maybe the greatest transport to old Scottish golf you can get, with the Lido being resurrected. Sand Valley and Mammoth and the Sandbox, that's a lot of premier, incredible golf that are all so different. And Sand Valley is a little bit more of a buddy's trip that can do a lot more than just golf, right? Bandon's like pure golf, all golf.
Mhm.
Sand Valley, you've got kayaking, they've got bocce ball, they've got cornhole, they've got their grass tennis. They're building this whole village there by Sedge, and it's there's a bit of a killer vibe there. I think both are incredible, but yeah, it depends what you want.
Sand Valley's out Wisconsin, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
There you go.
Got it.
So
Definitely got it.
Everybody's got to do both.
Have you guys
right?
ever been?
Have not got Sand Valley yet. No, definitely been to Bandon.
Yeah.
Adam.
No, I traveled around the States quite a bit. I was a pro hockey player, so I traveled around and
nice.
played a little bit of golf with that. But no, I haven't really made those golf trips. It's something me and Trevor are going to do at some point.
Can you hit the driver 400 yards?
Not
Happy,
quite
or-
400. I won a long drive contest one time. It was like 325. Hit it pretty hard.
It
Yeah.
was at a mini golf course, but
Hey, I won the driver, so got to take it home. That was
Hell
years
yeah.
ago, though. Fuck.
That's
so
awesome.
this is another one from Ort, and then we'll wrap up with him. What golf course has been the most challenging to play at, and why?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Most challenging to play at.
Yeah.
Meaning the
Now,
actual play is challenging.
is this a tip of the cap to the superintendent or course manager of that course being a tough course, Trev, in your opinion?
No,
No, it's more layout and architecture too.
yeah, yeah, and conditions, of course. I mean,
Yeah, conditions plays into it.
the design of the course is going to be what's going to make it the most challenging. And then conditions would be next. And the conditions can be affected by the superintendent and grounds crew and then the weather as well. So, I mean,
Right. Mother Nature.
yeah, I think it ultimately what makes a golf course the most challenging off the top is going to be your architect and your builder.
Nice.
Got it.
There you go.
I mean, obviously you can make a really easy golf course in somewhere that blows 30 miles an hour and it's not going to be a really easy golf course, but
True.
a good
Right.
architect is going to design it around that and go with it. And so the most challenging, I got to go back to Chambers Bay. That course was challenging as all get out. It's built in an old rock quarry. The bunkers are huge and the sand is thick. And if you get into them in the low spots, you're just fucked. You have to walk it. There's no other option. A lot of it's really, really steep, but it's gorgeous. It's all fescue. It's a hands down must go play. But it was super challenging.
I want to go because of the train too.
Yeah,
Just a big
yeah. The
BART
train's
train
pretty
guy.
neat.
I want to see that train come through.
Yes, yes, yeah. You get the
Yeah.
train rolling by.
Be good
The
content
views up
for
there.
the par train.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
100%.
better par every hole that's by it, and 17 is by it, and that's a tough hole. Yeah. Yeah. I think my pick on most challenging for me that I've played, it's got to be Chambers.
Nice.
Double.
Yeah, for me,
Chambers.
I'm trying to think of something different, but honestly, I think the answer is Pinehurst number 2. Simply
I mean,
because the one credit I will give to Pinehurst number 2 is it's not like I remember when Tiger designed Blue Jack National, which I believe was his first full 18 design course, private club in, is that Texas? He said his mentality as a course designer is kind of like Augusta National in the sense of you should be able to find your ball, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't lose a ball. Like that's his kind of mentality. Pinehurst is like that. Like you'll find it, but the challenging thing is that you mix trees, narrow fairways, trees, pine straw, sand, and like
Tough combo.
not like crazy fescue, but still like a little bit of high grass in some places. Like when you factor all that in, your ball striking needs to be pretty precise. Otherwise, it's taking you a little while to get to the green. And then if you get to the green, we talked about those Donald Ross greens. So your score can go up pretty quick at Pinehurst. And, I just felt like beat down. I felt beat down after that. I had no desire to play it again after. And to me, that's not what a golf course should be. Now, is that because I had a really off day and I just wasn't hitting it good? Would I feel different if I was like striping it? Maybe. I'm a 7 handicap, so maybe. But maybe if I was a 2, I'd have a different feeling on it. But I'd say the hardest, most exhausting round I've had is probably Pinehurst number 2.
Yeah. I like what you said there. You
Hell yeah.
really have to play it a few times to get a feel for if that's a course that's hard for you or not. Like if you go on a trip, you play a course one time and you have a shit round. Well, yeah, it was tough for you, but maybe your buddy played amazing. So it's probably something you got to play more than once to really know. But I've definitely walked off the course, not had a great day, and finished early. So to me, those are the days that would be the toughest, or those are the courses that would be the toughest when you're giving up on yourself.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I just remembered Pasatiempo should be in the conversation for greens, tough greens as well.
There you
Another
go.
Mackenzie. Yes.
Yeah, another Mackenzie. Pasatiempo is a very special place. I know they just did their whole refresh. What would you call it? Refresh?
Renovation.
Yeah, they kind of
restoration.
Restoration, renovation. They had some serious water issues out there. Matt Janella and the Fire Pit Collective covered that really, really well. Yeah, Pasatiempo is one that is extremely high on my list. I still have not been able to get there, but
That's a really
uh,
special place. I played
yes.
there the day before my wedding. I got married in Santa
Nice.
Cruz.
Nice.
Nice.
So it was a really special day with playing with all my groomsmen, dad, brother, best friends, and yeah, we were rushing to get it in before the rehearsal dinner, but we did it, and it was awesome.
You walk in a straight line.
Yeah.
You're fine. Killer. Oh man, what a dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Voice Talk Dave chimes in with a good one here. And it kind of touches on everything we've been talking about here. He says, which type of layout does said golfer prefer? Desert, mountain, coastal, or urban question mark.
I'm a mountain guy. It might be because I'm spoiled and I live on the coast. And so maybe I like having something that I don't normally get. But for some reason, I just, that spiritual feeling I talked about where you just feel at ease and you're in awe, like rolling hills and mountains to me are the best. But coast probably has to be a close second. What about you
Adam,
guys?
there you go. I've never really thought about it that much, to be honest with you. Never really gotten too deep into it. I love courses with big trees. That's one thing I do like. So yeah, maybe more of a mountain course with some elevation, being able to hit off some tees that are a little higher up. Yeah, I enjoy that.
Yeah, I gotta go with the same kind of that desert mountain mix. Like the best vibe I've gotten on strictly the landscape around me, other than Bandon and just being in awe the whole time, but like the most feeling of peace and just enjoying it and never caring what I shoot out there is out at Rams Hill. It's
I've
you're
heard
just
great things.
oh, it's gorgeous. You're out there. It's only the golf course is basically the only thing you see for miles until you see the mountains, and
Just
it's
wide open.
awesome. Yeah, it's phenomenal. You have houses on the course, but you don't even no one cares. It's designed really well. It's gorgeous all around. Like we go out and play and no one gives a shit what we shoot. It's just awesome to be out there. So it's kind of a mix. I'm with you on the same thing, being on the coast. Like, yeah, coast courses are really, really cool, but there is something about the mountains, and just in elevation change in the hills. I think the course is going to be a little more fun when you've got stuff like that to battle.
Yeah. Have you guys played La Quivera in Cabo?
No, I haven't been down to Mexico.
Look up that course. That's where I had my bachelor party a couple years ago.
Ooh.
You want to talk about elevation change and like, when you're planning a bachelor party and not everybody's a big golfer. To me, La Quivera in Cabo is the greatest bachelor party course because
Write
it's the
that
most
down, fellas.
epic views. Such a fun layout, the craziest holes you'll ever play, and it's unlimited food and drink. And there's 4 or 5 comfort stations.
Sounds like a
So
problem.
it's a full experience. It's not
That
just
sounds rad.
guys paying 250 to $300 for a round of golf and can't hit the ball and they're like, what am I doing? At least you're going to be having the most epic ocean views on holes that are out on a cliff. And you can get unlimited drinks and food at 4 or 5 comfort stations along the way.
That's
So
amazing.
Wow. That sounds
like a
super
spot.
sick. We've got up in Los Angeles when I lived up there. Have you played Tierra Rajada?
yeah,
Yeah, that one's got some cool, crazy elevation changes.
a
That
lot of
one's
blind shots there.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went out there, I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm gonna walk," and they're like, "No, you're not."
Yeah.
They're like, "No, you're taking a cart." And I'm like,
Not
"Okay."
happening, bud.
And then I started playing. I'm like, "I get it. I get it." It's,
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a whole. I got a photo of it. You're what 120 feet above the green, and it's just out on this little peninsula, and you can bang driver to the green if you're feeling real frisky. Like it's
Yeah.
there's some changes there. It's pretty cool. That's a fun course.
Nice.
Totally.
Well, I got another good one on my side here for Evan before we let you go. I know we're not going to keep you all night here. This is from Emil Anthony one thing that you find annoying about the maintenance crew, and then one little hidden gem that you like about the maintenance crew.
Hmm.
That might make you think a little bit because sometimes you don't always see us out there, but something you'd like to see change maybe for greenskeepers.
The classic joke I've made is that maybe the maintenance crew had a bad morning when you see those pin placements in a place where they should probably never be. So that's in pin placements, especially at like a public course just on a weekend, right? Like that is, I'm all for trying to figure out how to like speed up the game after playing in Scotland for 4 weeks. I'm like, I don't understand. And you could go over to our Instagram and Twitter and see the hundreds of comments that are there about people debating why pace of play is slower in the US versus Scotland. But I would like to think that pin placements probably don't help pace of play if they're in really tough spots. Game's hard enough. So that'd probably be the frustrate. I forget how you phrased it, but the frustrating part. What was the other part of
And
it?
just if there's a hidden gem, something you like about what the maintenance crew does on the golf course, is there something that you appreciate or something that stands out to you?
I appreciate all of it, to be honest with you. I mean, the fact that because I'm one of those first out people. Like the ideal tee time to me is the sun is rising. I'll even tee off in the dark.
No, you're one of those guys.
A lot of times it's just been me and the maintenance guys out there, and sometimes they're chasing ahead to get those flags put in, and you see them bundled up in the coat and the beanie, and like, you know, I've worked some jobs where you're up, you know, at the crack of dawn and you're in the cold, and it's not an easy gig by any means. So to me, I appreciate everything they do because we wouldn't have a course without them, and I don't think enough golfers really appreciate, you know, the stuff that goes into getting a golf course ready every day. So especially in first thing in the morning, I've seen it and I appreciate it.
Yeah, he passed the test, guys. It's okay.
Yeah, we keep him around. It's okay.
None of that was scripted either.
Do you guys hate that guy or gal that first out?
We've talked about it. It depends
Definitely.
on your actions. Knowing how you are and how you respect and know the game, you wouldn't be an issue except for the very, very first time we saw you, because we'd be like, oh, fuck, here comes somebody. But I can...
Like, you thought you had more time. I'm like rushing your job.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It really depends. So I'm willing to bet that you're the one who would give a wave and be like, oh, no, like finish or whatever. Or, you know, when they say, hey, if you play through, like things aren't going to be ready, you're like, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. And you scoot and go on. And then there's the person who's like, no, and they get all bitchy, and it's like, those are the people we can't stand. Like they're the worst. And it's like, we understand obviously that we're creating an experience for golfers to come out and play and enjoy this course, but we still have to do our job. I mean, like, you get these groups that roll in first tee, 5 of them, they're expecting it to be done, and it's like, dude, the sun's been up for 20 minutes. We've been here for an hour. Like, you know, we got to have a chance to do our job.
And go to work.
Yeah, it really depends on the type of person that comes in. But the first time that we were to see that person, yeah, we instantly hate you.
What's it like being on the tractor or the lawnmower or whatever the machines are called? I'm probably butchering them. What's it like waiting and standing by while people hit and putt?
It's cold. It's very, very cold.
That's just it's a part of it, right? It's usually more in the afternoon once people are kind of moving around the course. You have to slow down and wait.
Kind of a mind fuck too, because a lot of times, like, you're like, oh, is that a group ahead? And it's like, oh no, it's the maintenance guys. But you still hit, and it's still a person.
Yeah. I mean,
How often have you guys had balls come near you, or have either of you gotten hit?
No, knock on wood. Still hasn't happened. But yeah, a couple of close calls.
Yeah, I took one on a bounce and it hit me in the hip and it was nothing. I think it was probably the second bounce too. I've had one where I was raking a bunker and the guy said 4 left. And for whatever reason, I stepped to my left, thankfully, and the ball landed right where I was standing. So I would have been drilled. But I train my guys to know the game and to about, if they're in a vulnerable spot, every 10, 20 seconds, take a peek. take a peek at the tee, take a peek at the
Mm.
tee. And so with a good superintendent and employees who listen, they're trained to look out for the players and get out of the way, and do things like that. And it's sometimes it can get interesting. It's usually just in the afternoon. The mornings were usually pretty breezy,
Yeah, it can be
getting
okay.
through things, and that's when we can get stuff done. A lot of places are closed on the Mondays, which is great for the maintenance
Oh,
staff
yeah,
to
the
do the
maintenance
bigger
Mondays.
projects. Maintenance Mondays
Mm.
are always good.
We
Uh,
struggle up here because there's a lot of people that play. You try and get your rounds in. So it's that first group sometimes that can try and set the pace for the rest of the day. So if the first group rushes the maintenance crew, the rest of the day, when it might be 200 people that play, they're not getting the right conditions because that first group rushed the maintenance crew. So if you have, that first group
Interesting.
privilege, you try and hang back as much as you can. And if you are going to pass through, just try and pass right through. And if you're playing without pins, you're playing without pins. But
Wow,
it is a bit of a dance depending on who the person is.
yeah,
that's interesting.
the joke of oh, he must have been upset or woke up on the wrong side of the bed or whatever, can be true. Sometimes it's inexperience.
Can be
which
true,
I,
yeah.
I think most of the time it's inexperience. But I'll tell you a personal story of it. Is we had a men's club. I'm not going to name what course I was playing or working for. We had a men's club, and the dudes were just dicks one day. They were bitching and complaining about everything, and it's like, all right, I know when you guys play next, I'm making every single one of these pins ridiculous. And I did. And it's not that funny listening to myself tell that story around, but in the time, it was
It
phenomenal.
was funny at the
No,
time.
it's
Don't piss
actually
off the greenkeeper.
amazing to hear that it's true, that it actually does happen.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It will. And I'd say the majority of the time, I'd give it maybe 60-70% of the time. It's an inexperienced new
Yeah.
guy cutting cups
Just a
who
bad
doesn't
pin.
really understand the game and
Yeah.
where it needs to be. So for instance, I have an 18-year-old kid on my staff who's not really a golfer. He goes out and tries to play and he's learning it. And there's every now and again I got to call him back. Hey, come back to 12 green. Like this is not a pin. Like I can't have this here, and tell him why and
Mm.
got to teach him through it. And so I'd say most of the time it's just inexperience.
What is the one thing that you guys want the average golfer to know about maintenance crew that maybe they don't know or that they should know?
That's a great question. I think that it's just we're all in this together. Like we really enjoy the golf course. We love the golf course. We take care of it, and it's our pride and joy. So for you guys to come out, it's big for us. Like it's a big part of our job is for you guys to be out there. So seeing people fix their ball mark, replace a divot, add some sand to a tee, pick up garbage, like that is we'll love you forever. We'll go out of our way to do things for those golfers. But the
Mm.
golfers that are fucking around and not fixing things and not being a part of that golf etiquette, that's just creating problems and bad attitudes that we don't need. So I know you guys push a lot of positivity and we try to too on our side. And I think that's a big thing. There just needs to be a lot more respect. We respect the
Mhm.
golfers. You guys respect this. We're all here together. It's one big happy family,
Yeah. I do. I will tell you guys, not to pat myself on the shoulder, but I do believe in some golf karma and the golf gods. If I'm walking a
Nice.
green and I see like 3 ball marks unfixed, I will go and I'll fix those while my playing partners are starting to putt. I'll go around and I'll fix them.
Nice.
Just
You're one
because
of the
I
good
feel
ones.
like it's good. I feel like
You're
it's
welcome
good
to play my
vibes
course
coming
anytime
back.
you want.
Yeah. Okay. You ask him one. I got one final funny one we got to ask him before we go.
Being a golfer on our show, we've talked about this with other supers and things like that. As a golfer, how do you feel about a greenskeeper tip jar?
Mm. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it'd be great, but there is also a part of me that's where does it end? Right? It could be a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's the thing about tipping. It was weird being in Europe for 6 weeks. And I got better
best.
service in countries without tipping. And then I come back to the US and you get worse service and you're going to tip 20% anyways. So I don't know. Sometimes a tip jar or the little line with a tip on a receipt can sometimes make you feel bad if you don't. Here's my take. I don't think giving should be done out of guilt. I think giving should be done because you want to give. So take that as you will. I feel like maybe we should institute like something else where, because then it's like, who do you tip at the course, right? Like everyone is doing their part. Is the maintenance crew more tippable than the pros in the pro shop? Versus the cart person, like everyone's kind of doing their part. So it's a tricky, slippery slope, but that don't mistake that for being cold, that they don't deserve, a little bump every now and then. I think we just need to figure out the way people can do it out of the goodness of their heart versus feeling like it's an obligation and they're an asshole if they don't.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I loved Europe for that aspect, and you're 100% right that the service in Europe is 1,000 times better with zero tipping. But they also get paid more, which is a whole nother story. But
yeah, and even if so, when we got great service, I'd give them like €5 or something, and the look you give or the look you get, it's like,
right.
Oh my God, thank you so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like it's under promise, over delivering a little bit, where they don't expect to get one. But if they do get one, you give phenomenal service an extra tip versus every type of service a tip.
Yep.
I
like that.
Yeah.
And I think back to your first one there, it's the best way to do it, the best way to tip the greenkeepers is just take care of the course and follow the fucking rules too.
That's
People
the greatest
driving
tip ever. Don't you dare say cart paths.
What's the most important rule for a golfer to follow for the greenskeeper?
Just respect the rules of the golf course. Every golf course has different rules. And then golf itself has rules and etiquette. Just like if you were to go to a restaurant or a really fancy restaurant, you take your hat off. You do things. You go like again on the fancy restaurant, you wear a collar, you wear something nice, yada yada. Same thing with a golf course. Like, fix your ball marks, follow the rules of the course. You don't necessarily need to fix or fill your divots all the time, but if you have the opportunity, do it. Pick up the piece of trash that you see if it's out there.
Yeah. Be respectful with your cart. Your cart. People don't follow the cart rules sometimes. Different courses when it's wet or we have, ground under repair or something like that, it can get dicey for sure.
Yeah, with those big swipe marks where it just digs out a huge hole into the fairway if it's wet.
Terrible.
I've been at this course for like 14 months. I've had 6 greens have had donuts done on them with golf carts.
Oh my God.
What?
Dude. 6?
Yeah. That's the clientele that comes to my place. I'm
That's crazy.
A little bitter of as I call them, public.
I can
public,
feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're called the public, and they're not golfers. They're animals. And thankfully,
animals.
Thankfully, the way I take care of my greens, there really wasn't a ton of damage in general. I just rolled it and it was fine. So like I didn't get any big ruts. It didn't, nothing major really happened. You would just see a spiral in the center of the green for a week or so. And, after a few mows and a couple rolls, it was gone. So thankfully, it was never a big issue, but it can be. It's just principles. So like we've had to make our entire golf course cart path only, which in regular rules, Evan, as a golfer, do you ever drive on a par 3?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Exactly. My whole course is par 3s, yet people think they can drive wherever they want.
That's so funny.
Can I ask you guys one more question before we get to the question you asked me? What have you learned from taking care of the course that has made you a better golfer when you play?
Wow.
Ooh.
Like we spend so much time on the greens. It's got to be how to read the greens, with your feet, with your eyes, being able to bend down and just touch the grass. We spend so much time on the greens. It's got to be, just being able to read them. I'd say for me, I'm not as
because
big
of where the water
like
goes too. You can actually see where it goes.
Yeah, we're out there watering all the time. Exactly. You have a really good idea of where the slope's going to be. Even just standing on the greens, like we wear our boots on the greens a lot. So I find when I put golf shoes on and walk on the green, I'm like, oh wow, I can really feel where I am. So I'd say that would be the biggest thing. It would also be identifying the different turf and maybe how firm some of the different golf courses are. So if you go to a place, you can really adjust your game properly because you kind of, understand what's going on underneath the grass.
Interesting.
That'd be for me. I don't know. Trev's a professional, so he might have a bit of a better idea.
Professionals, super kind of you.
How many tournaments have you won this year?
4?
4 years.
Won
not
4
over?
tournaments this year?
One solo, and then the other in teams. But yeah,
Wow.
I've had a really good year.
He's on a streak.
I got a tournament this weekend, 2-day tournament, that if I win this one, then I might just quit golf forever and just sit on
Just
my
hang it
crown.
up.
Can
Or
you make me
host
a
your own
promise?
tournament.
Oh boy, what's the promise?
Can you hop aboard the Park Train podcast before your next tournament?
Which episode, or you want me to like come on?
I'm going to give you the number 1 episode.
Perfect. Let's
That
do it.
20%. I just learned this from Spotify. 20% of new listeners, or maybe it's higher, starts on episode 172 with Bob Rotella.
Okay,
Oh, that's
It's
the
our
one.
number 1 episode.
172. I think one thing too is, since you've come on ours, I think we got to go on yours, and then you can ask us all the turf questions that your listeners might want to know. I think that'd be
Right.
really fun.
All the
Yeah, that
maintenance
could be fun
questions.
for sure.
Let's see. Oh, and then, well, as for what you asked of our site, I keep looking in the App Store, not the podcasting dumbass. Things that I've done in work that make my golf game better. I think it'd be learning and identifying the different types of grass and how to play out of them. So, I mean, well, you're down in the Southern California area where we've got a lot of Kikuya. Playing on Kikuya is a pain in the ass. It sucks to swing in it, and when your ball hits it, it just dies. Ryegrass, when it's wet's a little sticky. Bermuda's usually pretty good. Playing on different heights of grass and just kind of knowing how they react to a club. I think I learned a lot of that by being in the industry, because I can pick them out by sight now, and without having to go and like play on them and be like, oh, well, this one's a little stickier, a little grabby, or this one's good. Like I can swing a wood out of this rough no problem, or whatever. I think that would probably be the best one. That's a super fascinating question, because I usually, when I'm at work, I'm working. I'm not necessarily thinking of my game, but it definitely overlaps for sure.
It translates.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right.
Oh
Well,
my
we have a lot of
goodness.
people come on and tell funny stories and stuff like that. And I picked up on one that might have been the last couple of days for you. Something to do with your beard, potentially.
Yeah, I was actually a little hesitant to come on because I was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to see anyone. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm on a fucking podcast. But your audio, so
Yeah,
you probably
we'll be
can't
okay.
even tell. But my
You can tell
left,
a little bit.
you can see it's darker in here. It gets
Yeah.
darker here, and then my right, it's trimmed and shaved. But yesterday, I was shaving. I shaved half my face, and my shaver died.
No,
And
no.
I'm like, and you know how you can kind of feel it?
Yeah.
It's like you
Starts
can
to
start to
shake.
tell it's starting to like die down, and the whole time I'm like, come on, don't die on me, don't die on me. It dies, and that's no problem. It's just a little bit of inconvenience. I have to let it charge before I can finish, but no problem, right? Well, then I realized I must have left my charging cord in Europe because it's nowhere to be found. And normally I keep it in my Dobbs kit so that if it happens, I have it. And it wasn't there. So then I sit down, like I order one on Amazon immediately. It's like next day. It's supposed to arrive any minute tonight. I was hoping it would come up before this podcast, but then you told me it's audio only and we're good to go. But you can't really tell on this video anyways. But anyways,
Now that you say it, though, it's
It's all you can see.
tell
eh?
why you've been hiding behind the mic
That's all
on the
you
one
can see
side.
now. I'll just talk to you like
Yeah,
this
there you
with
go.
my head turned. But
From my good
but yeah,
side.
so then I forgot about it and I went to the driving range yesterday and I started getting some weird looks.
It's the new
People were
style,
very
bro.
confused. Because it's not just like, it's literally my whole side of my face. I'm like Two-Face from Batman, you know? So yeah, I got some weird looks, but it was a solid range sesh. So I was feeling pretty good coming home. And then I remembered, oh, I forgot I have half my face shaved. So you guys are the first podcasts and probably the last podcast ever I will do with half my face shaved. So that's history.
That
you
is
go.
history right there. Yeah, we'll have to send you
Is
the
this a
video.
bad time to tell you that this is actually the episode we're debuting on our YouTube channel?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing if that's
That
the
would
case.
be no, it's not the case, but that would be super funny. I'd
Yeah.
be very into that. That'd be great.
No, I got a chuckle out of that today when I read that. I thought that was pretty funny. And like so fitting too for a mental skills coach to just be like, yeah, I own the range session, went home and waiting for the cord to come in. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
That is phenomenal. Well, Evan, this was amazing, super
Yeah,
fun.
it's really cool, man.
I've already downloaded that the Bob Rotella episode. I'm going to listen to that tomorrow, probably on the mower in the morning.
Love it.
For everyone listening, go follow the Par Train, the Par Train.
Yeah, hop aboard.
Yeah, hop aboard. Do you guys? That's actually a great point. Do a lot of greenskeepers listen to podcasts while you're working in the morning? I would think that'd be prime time listening.
It's kind of why we started it. Figured people need something to listen to.
Yeah, what a great way to learn and be entertained through conversation while you're working.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful when it comes to anything you want to learn if it's out there, and that's partly why Adam started doing this, and then I got lucky enough to get kind of roped in somehow and just riding coattails.
Love it. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on. This was fun.
Yeah, Evan, thanks a lot for coming on.
If you're out in Arizona, we're having our first Turf Today Cup tournament during the GCSAA conference, which are a bunch of turf nerds. We're going to be playing it under the lights at Grass Clippings in Tempe, so it's going to be pretty sweet.
I just saw Parker McLaughlin was there this past week that was playing under the lights.
Yeah, they technically open. No, it's not.
Oh, no, that was a soft opening tomorrow.
Yes, they opened it up for 9 to test them out. They open tomorrow, December 1st. When this episode comes out, it's going to be December 5th.
That's going to be so cool.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. We're going to be one of the first tournaments under the lights there, so we're pretty jacked about that. So if you find yourself out there, let us know.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right, buddy. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and let us know if anything comes up between now and the show.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Nice to meet you
as well.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you too.
Let me know when you're in San Diego. Let's go play.
Yeah, we'll do. It sounds like I need some pointers from this guy.
Yeah,
for me,
he's winning 4 tournaments.
Pretty good.
And there were some team ones. I only won the Superintendent Invitational. It's whatever.
Yeah, just too much superintendent. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
two over at Aviara from the tips, but whatever.
Okay, all right.
Love it. All right, guys, have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man.
And as you already know, the Turf Today podcast is brought to you by Spray Caddy. And what we want to let you know this week about Spray Caddy is that you've been waiting all year. All right, EOP is here. People are making their orders for next season. Get Spray Caddy on that list. You've thought about it all season, how you've wanted one, you've wanted to order one. Well, here we go. This is your chance. And guess what? It's not just going to last a season. This is a good little investment. You're going to have them for a while, and they're going to be around for years to come. So jump on these things, promote them on social media, tell your friends about them. They are now getting distributors all over the world. So check them out. Spray Caddy.
I have breaking news that you want to know that happened during the show.
Somebody signed up tournament.
Do you know who?
Shane Dial.
No. Voice Talk Dave.
What?
Will be at the tournament.
Oh my God.
Registration is in.
No way. I didn't think he was going to the show.
I don't think he's going to the show. I think he's just coming to hang.
Wow.
But the ticket's in. The ticket is in. I owe him a beer.
With
Apparently,
the promo code?
No, the promo code didn't work for him for whatever reason, so I need to check that out.
That's because it ended today, right? Oh, no, tomorrow.
Oh, maybe I didn't make it end.
It's supposed to end on the 3rd, right?
On the website, I could put a deadline on it, and it might have hit. That could be it.
Okay.
I told him I was going to fix it, and then he just bought it. So I'll get him a beer.
What a beauty.
Dave texted me. And he's like, "Oh, the code's not working." I was like, "Come on, we're recording right now. Like, I'll fix it." And he sent me this thing. He bought it. My phone buzzed. He bought it. And he goes, "Okay, so now I need to book the vacation. I'll be meeting you and all the other cronies in 62 days. So fucking excited." And I was like, "Dude, I would fix that code in like 30 minutes," which shit, pretty good on the time. He's like, "Take the 20. It'll be my skins contribution." It's like, well, we're not doing skins, but I know he's making a joke.
We'll take your money. Does that mean that maybe he's going to be bringing the gnome?
I'm just going to put as the gnome your +1.
Yeah. Dave's coming down to the show. He's probably just said, "Fuck it, I'm coming."
Dude, we've been talking about it, and he's like, "Man, it's gonna be like $4,000 to like attend this show and do everything because his club's not helping." I think he's coming just to fucking hang.
Wow.
But he also said that he was gonna be out here in the desert, Palm Springs area, for like his birthday or something, and he was thinking about cruising out for like the day because it's
Awesome.
not too far.
So
It's
maybe
like,
that's all it is.
it could be. I don't know.
Nice.
Now I'm talking Jordan Cal. That dude, I probably get a message from him almost every day.
Wow.
He did send me a box of shit, and he's been waiting for your address as a heads up.
But I'm pretty sure he got my address. I sent it to him.
No, well, it might have been after because his little note to me was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. I
Yeah.
think he messaged me and was like, "Disregard the note I sent Trevor. What's your address?"
He's probably like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna be like offended by it or whatever. But that shit was fucking hilarious. Okay, so
We did hear from our guest Kyle Kraus today. He said if he comes to the show, he's going to play, but he's
Cool.
just trying to work on coming to the show. So
yeah, I'm waiting to see how many folks Lyle gets. I
Mhm.
posted the video. So podcast followers, I just did it already, so you're gonna see it before the show comes out. But I reposted the video of Evan going into his room there at in Scotland.
Oh, nice. I like his jacket in that video.
Didn't even notice the jacket.
It's a nice jacket. So what do you want to talk about? This is the last people are going to hear from us for the end of the year. So what do you want to talk about?
They're gonna miss us, Adam.
They're going to miss us. Okay. We can go live even just Thursday nights for a little bit or Tuesdays just to say hello. We were going to want to be promoting the show and the tournament and all
I don't
the
care
stuff.
about promoting the show, to be honest with you. The show is promoted enough. We need to promote the tournament.
Well, just seeing us at the show, right? We want to
Oh yeah,
meet as
Yeah, that's
many
true.
people as we can and
that is true.
come and see us, come and shake some hands. And
All right, back to the questions. I got a couple more.
all right.
Do you have any more?
Yeah, I got a few.
Turfers Paradise, aka Colin from Caboolture in Australia. Not the right accent. You have 3 staff total. 1 gets COVID, other 4 weeks after operations. What other 4 weeks after operation? What are your priorities? I don't understand what he means, but I understand what he means.
So there's 4 guys, and now he's saying there's 3. Why not just start the question off with 3 guys?
Well, because I guess you have to. I don't know what the regulations for COVID are in Australia.
Okay, Colin.
So the U.S. we got nothing anymore. There's no more whatever. In the U.S. it's different now. Like there's no more. You have to stay out of work for X amount of time. Blah 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 blah.
You can go to
so-
work with COVID?
No, if you have it, you like. There's just how they had it. It was like you have to be out for 7 days minimum or 10
Yeah.
days minimum.
If
It's
somebody
now
in
it's
your
like
neighborhood has it, you have to stay home.
yeah. If someone on your it's not like that anymore. Like if you have it, you don't go to work. No shit. But I think as long as you test negative and then like the next day test negative again, you can come back.
hmm
So what are the priorities? The priorities are greens. It's always greens. Just take care of the greens. Greens
Yeah.
are first. Make sure they're mowed. Make sure you don't even need to make sure the cups are cut. Just make sure the greens are mowed. Bare minimum. Move the markers. Cut the greens. Minimum.
Yeah. Do your cultural stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Next.
It's on you there, Jalen.
I lost it.
Oh, this would have been a good one to ask Evan. More grass bunkers or rather than sand bunkers? It says more grass bunkers or rather sand bunkers. That's from Wim.
I like a
I
mix.
like a big- Yeah.
What?
Depends on where they're placed. I like a big false bunker, as I like to call them, for the sand or grass bunker. Like
Yeah.
false bunker. I like those.
It's good to
That's-
have an option, a bailout
Yeah.
zone.
Not even a bailout zone. It's still rough. It's just like there's a big nasty one on the 10th hole at Goat Hill that's super sick right in front of the green. And it's fucking super steep. And it's way better that it's not a bunker anymore. But like you get to do it's really fun to play out of because you can do super mega flop shots out of it because
Nice.
you're popping it
Just
up
straight up.
down,
Yeah.
onto a downslope into the green. So it's like
Ooh, nice.
it's perfect. And it's
That's
always
fun.
fluffy. It's always rough. So
Also have one from Wim the Greenkeeper. When are you guys going to
Hey.
start a food podcast? That's maybe what we can do in the off season.
we're already on it. man.
Yeah, this is the food podcast.
Yeah. There, I mean, it's still. I mean, it's been over a year, and it's still weird when you're like, oh, off season. It's like there's no fucking off
Yeah,
season.
there's no off season.
Welcome to Trevor and Adam's Food Podcast from Gecko Night. Pineapple on pizza? Question mark. Thoughts?
We've done this, haven't we?
Fuck you and your pineapple on your pizza. Get that shit off the pizza. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it does not really belong there.
Pineapple is good as a juice, and to me, that's about it. I hate the texture of pineapple. I don't know what it is. The texture of it's so gross, but
Yeah.
pineapple juice, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure pineapple has like, if you put it under a microscope, it looks like needles. That's why after you eat it, you have like that numb feeling.
Yeah.
It's it gets you.
No, pineapple does not belong on pizza. However, make your own fucking pizza. If you get a half and a half pizza and it's got half fucking pineapple on it, I'm throwing the whole fucking box out. It ruins it.
I'm throwing the whole box out. That
Yep.
doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, my mom
Nope,
used to
no.
get the pineapple on the pizza, and it would be tough. I had to pick them off.
You know what my biggest beef with Canada is?
The beef is really good.
No, ironically, it's Canadian bacon. I don't even know if you guys call it there that. but
No,
that
when
slab
we've talked about that, it's terrible.
it's so gross, dude.
It's terrible.
Disgusting.
No, it's not even a big thing here. And when you go
It
down to the
shouldn't be.
States, they're like, "Oh, this is Canadian bacon." Anytime I'd be down there, they'd be like, "Oh, Canadian bacon." I'd be like, "Yeah, I don't eat that." Yeah.
You're eating. Yeah. No, the quote unquote Canadian bacon is ass, and that's why it's the perfect match with pineapple, because then you have two ass cheeks on one pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Garbo.
fucking terrible. It's terrible. Next.
I don't think I have anything else. It was all for Evan.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
that's gonna leave us to wrap it up with sponsor to be named later, Trevor Sports Corner,
Nice.
because we've got a question from Jordan.
The Calusian.
Never, even if I hear it, I'm not gonna. Oh, he's in the tournament, by the way. He's playing.
Oh, Jordan's
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah. Could I get your take on Connor Bedard and Corey Perry scandal?
Yes.
He has not looked into it because it is no longer a scandal. Folks who don't know, Connor Bedard is the number 1 overall pick by the Chicago Blackhawks in the NHL this year. He's fucking 18 and a bad motherfucker on the ice.
So good.
The quote unquote scandal that Mr. Kohosus is talking about is, for a short while, it seemed as if Corey Perry was banging Connor Bedard's mom, and
Terrible rumor, eh? Like,
it got shot down so fast, though.
Oh, yeah.
So, and it got shut down by multiple sources, including the Blackhawks and Connor Bedard's camp and Corey Perry himself.
mhm.
So Connor Bedard being the 18-year-old, I think Corey Perry's what, 38? He's a vet. He's been around for a while. He's with Atlanta, I think, or not Atlanta, the Lightning, Tampa Bay. I think did he win a cup with them? Was he on one of those cup teams?
I don't think so. I think he missed it.
It was just after.
Yeah.
But he was there for a little bit, and so he signed. I think it was a 1-year deal with Chicago to be there this year, and he's been on not necessarily administrative leave, but kind of he's been off the ice for personal reasons, and it came out. Someone made it up, just like the Chiefs kid story, a complete and made up bullshit story that he was banging Connor Bedard's mom. So
Yeah.
not much of a scandal there, Jordan.
No, but did you? It did
Um,
come out today that he did release a statement and referring to alcohol abuse. He's the third NHL player this year to remove themselves or be removed from the NHL because of alcohol abuse. It's November 30th. They've played like 2 months.
Season's like not even 2. Yeah. Wow.
It's the third player. And I mean, like back in the day, you would never hear about that kind of stuff. It's nice that guys are now talking about this stuff and they're actually, trying to do something about it. But 3 guys already, it's tough to see. Good for them, but it's tough to see.
People don't think of that. Like, oh man, it's the NHL. Like, there's like, how many guys are on a roster? Like 16?
No, he'd be like a 25-man roster.
Okay. That's still, baseball is like a 56-man roster.
Hmm.
Or maybe it's not that big in baseball, but football is like about the same. Like it's there's not a lot of players in the
No.
NHL compared to other major sports leagues. I think maybe the NBA would maybe be smaller.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's nuts. I did not see. I saw his statement and I just read to the part where he said it had nothing to do with players'
Yeah.
family members.
Hmm. But he did
That's like,
something.
all
He
right.
got drunk and did something, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But at least hopefully he's actually recognized it in himself and is actually doing something rather than his camp just saying it.
True. Okay, hope that he's taking
the
the steps.
minimal things I've seen about him, I think he's the real deal when it comes to like he's recognized something that's going wrong and he's going to
Mhm.
address it.
He's got a
He
family
seems-
and stuff, so he's got.
And that's I feel like that's typical of hockey players. They're usually pretty stand-up dudes
For the most
compared
part,
to other sports athletes. It might be because it's way less covered. It might just be that a lot of them are Canadian and really nice, stereotypically.
yeah. Or they play 82 games, so they don't have a chance to get in trouble. It's just travel.
What do you mean?
travel.
The NFL is only once a week for like 18 weeks.
That's what I mean. They only play one game a week. These guys play all the time, so they never have a chance to get in trouble. They're so busy.
Which is hilarious of like basketball. Like I get that the dudes are 7 feet tall, but like you're running a decent amount. You're not at a full sprint, I'd say, for more than 20% of that game.
No. Those guys
I
go
could-
hard though. Like they go hard in the paint. It's pretty physical.
Some of them do, yeah. But those are what? It's a couple seconds here and there.
Mhm.
And then the rest of the time you're doing a light jog.
yeah.
But it is a hard court. But I think a lot of the injuries come because these guys are just such freak human beings, like athletically,
definitely.
size wise. Like your
And they're
body
jumping all
cannot.
that.
When you're 7 foot whatever and 200 pounds, your body's just the human body's not designed to be that big. And to do the moves that they do,
So
like
you're
it-
not
it-
supposed to be that big.
I mean, fuck. I mean, some of these NFL linemen, dude, Jesus
Oh.
Christ.
And athletic too. Like
Yeah,
crazy.
you got Jordan Davis ran, I think it was like 17 miles per hour in the Bills game. He
Wow.
topped out at like 17 miles per hour. He's 325 pounds. He was cooking. He had to get off the field and get the oxygen mask
He
after. They literally had to take an injury timeout for him. But like the dude was fucking all
he was
ass.
moving. That's awesome. All right, dude. Well, let's wrap it up here. I got some shit to do and then I gotta go to bed. Got a long one tomorrow.
I need to practice tomorrow. I haven't fucking swung a club all goddamn week. I got a tournament this weekend.
Oh boy. Yeah, start swinging them.
Speaking of tournament, January 31st of 2024, Turf Today will be hosting at Grass Clippings in Tempe, Arizona, the very first ever Turf Today Cup.
During the day?
No, it's going to be at night. They'll be under the lights. First tee time is going to be at 6 p.m. The range will open at 5 for the players who want to come in. Registration is available on both of the social media sites via the bio. Registration's there. It's going to include your 18 holes of golf. It'll be par 3 under the lights, range balls, a cart, a limited edition T-shirt. We're going to have a little tee package. I got some sponsors locking in. I've got one that they said they're 1,000% in. I just don't want to announce who it is yet, just because I want to make sure that we do get it locked in. One of them is going to be Perfect Golf out of Napa, California. Those will probably be prizes. We're going to get things from a bunch of places. We're going to have trophies, giveaways, closest to the pins. You know, we're going to see who can bring it.
it's
You know,
gonna be a
drinks are
fun
going to
one.
be after. There's going to be food at the course. It is not included in the registration, however, just so you guys know, you don't show up expecting food, but there will be food available.
And True Turf is going to
But-
be involved too. Our sponsor. They
Free turf.
they jumped
be
on pretty
involved.
quickly, so we're not too sure what they're going to be doing. They want to do something fun, and some of their guys want to play in it too. It's going to be a good time with those guys for sure.
Yeah. So spots are filling up. So make sure you register here soon. And we'll see you guys at the GCSAA show in Phoenix.
Be on the showroom floor the Wednesday for sure. So come and find us, or chances are we'll be kicking around, or we'll find you because it's going to be a big day. I know it's a big convention center, but I'm sure you'll find us. Well, we'll see you for an official episode next year. He goes real sharp.
Live long and prosper.
Trev's going to have a new sign-off line next year too. He's going to work on it over the holidays.
Maybe I'll put a poll up.
Ooh, there might be a poll.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put out a question box for it, or a response box, and then I'm gonna pick my like 3 or 4 favorite.
There you go.
It's gonna be something stupid. These assholes are gonna ruin me. I know it.
Yeah, we'll see.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'll throw a couple in too.
Oh, good lord.
Everybody have a good one.
Bye.
Oh, and for anybody wondering, don't worry. We'll be back. Bigger and better. The first season of the Turf Today podcast is dedicated to JK. We couldn't have done this without you. None of this would have happened without you.